So in the previous sessions, we discussed about users, user permissions. I mean groups, uh, how to give permissions to the groups. We also discussed about the octal format, actually how to give access to a group, how to give access to a user, etc. It's very important, actually, very important, as a particularly from the DevOps perspective. Okay, so usually you today a few things we will discuss. Number one, how do you go to a root user? If you are a normal user, how do you go to a root user? Okay, first thing, it's a pretty simple command we use. How do you switch from the normal user to the root user is something we'll discuss. And the second thing is we'll discuss about the environment variables, and then setting up path. Setting up path is very important. I tell you why setting up path is very important uh, about that. Okay, let's get started. I'm going to share my screen. I open my terminal. These are very important things for DevOps. It looks pretty basics, but these are the areas. I'm going to share my screen. I think it got stuck. Yeah, this looks actually pretty basics, but these are very important things as well. Uh, from the not only from the DevOps perspective, but any normal software engineer must know that. Okay, first thing, uh, in which user I am in which user I am.
Jiten?
Yeah, Jiten is the user. You know that, you can see over here, this is the user. We already discussed that there are basically two kinds of users: a normal user, and there is also a user called root user. When root user is something called super user, we also call it as a super user. Okay, certain commands we can run only through super user. We already knew that, actually certain commands we can run only through super user. So we used to use a command called sudo. Sudo is a command, sorry, not capital letters. Sudo is a command we use to run certain things as a root user with the elevated privileges. In Windows, actually, how do you do? Generally, we open the terminal or command prompt or PowerShell itself as an administrator. Right click on that and then open as administrator is what we do. But here we have, so certain commands we have option only to run as an administrator. That's something. So how do you go from normal user to the root user? There is a command called su. Okay, su man page. If you go to man page, I think, let me, su is the command. If you go to man page is for the documentation. Man of any command you would like to know, su. So su command run a command with substitute user and group ID. Okay, su command, hello command should be run with substitute user and group ID. So when called with no user specified, su defaults to running the interactive shell as a root. When the user is specified, additional arguments to be supplied. Whatever there are many options for each and every command. Definitely we cannot go through all the options. We can see all the basic options. Now I would like to, what is the home directory over here? What is the user home directory? What is the location of user home directory? So generally home and then username. Username when it is created, actually sometimes we can change the username as well later on once the directory is created. This is the home directory of any user. That means by default the user, right now here the user is Jiten. By default the user Jiten has got all the access to this particular directory. That means when I type pwd present working directory, you see that I am inside home and Jiten. Usually home and Jiten is the directory for Jiten, and then I can do anything within this home directory. All my files I will have permissions and then everything in this particular home directory. This directory is the home directory for Jiten. Remember that. The second thing is when I change the directory using su command. Su is also elevated command because you are moving from normal user to the root user. You have to use sudo su. This tells that, hey, go into root user. This is what you tell. Sudo su. Root user means you can run everything with elevated privileges. Elevated privileges means you can run everything as an admin, as a root user, so that everyone says that don't go and run as a root user because it's pretty dangerous option, right? So dangerous option means you can do anything. You can delete system files. You can access things that you are not supposed to access as a normal user and all. But if you are using as a root user, that means there is a reason for that. No, you know about the system. It asks for the password. So then as soon as I changed it, you see that here root came. Root is there. Now when you type pwd, you see we are inside root user. Okay, there is a difference. General users, for normal users it is called home. Username is the directory it goes. For the root user, the directory is going to be, for the root user the directory is going to be root. When I put hash, it is a comment. Okay, it's not going to it is not going to be executed as a command. Otherwise, if I give like this, it gives an error. When I put like this, it is treated as a comment. That's the reason I am giving that hash, because all these things will be we will use them while writing the shell scripts as well. Okay, so since now you are right like a root user, you can perform any options without sudo command. You can perform anything in the system without sudo command. Okay, since you are into root user, let's say apt install apt-get update. This is going to update all the packages in my system. Okay, it's getting updated. This is a command. Apt-get update is a command. Since I am with the root user, Okay, I don't need to pass something called sudo in front of that. Okay, I can directly run the command like this. There are so many commands. There are so many commands that you can run as a user. Okay, now I would like to go back to a normal user su Jiten. Why I don't need to give sudo here now? The question is, okay, why I don't need to give sudo here, but why we had
Since,
given, yeah,
since we are already in root.
yes. Since we are already in root, you don't need to give sudo. Sudo is a command, thanks for that. Sudo is a command that is used to run as elevated privileges. Since already we are in root, you don't need to give sudo over here. When you are already in root, you are moving back to normal user, just give this thing. So I would like to go to the home directory cd, because right now I am in the root directory. If I want to go to the Jiten's home directory, my user's home directory, cd with the tilde operator, okay, you go to the home directory. This is something about uh, su command with su command. How do you switch between users? Okay, how do you switch between users? Okay, this is how you use, right? As I said earlier, though this looks pretty basics, but these are very important as well. Unless you know that, you really can't do anything in Linux systems. Okay. The second thing is we will discuss about path path environment variable. Why do we need to set up the path? Why do we need to set up the path? What is path? This is very important. Have you ever set up the path? Have you ever installed Java? Have you ever installed uh, any other programming language or anything in your system? Then you understand what the path is.
Yes, the application defaults checks for the path of the file or anything.
Yes, yes, thanks for that. So generally, if you want to run any application, okay, if you want to run any application, let's say that we have created something called some shell script where it says hello.sh. Okay, this is a shell script. Let's say hello.sh. Okay, I would like to rename it. I think already we gave it as hello. Okay, let me rename it. And one more thing, there is no importance for the extension in Linux. Whether you give .sh or if you don't give it as sh, Linux is capable of understanding what type of file it is. So I am changing the file from hello.sh to hello. Okay, hello.sh was a file, and now the name of the file, it's a move command. We already discussed this as well. I changed the name of this command from hello.sh to hello. Okay, hello. Hello is a shell script, a simple script. Okay, a simple script that is called hello. From where it has to run, you need to tell that. That is the first command of any shell script. And here, echo command is the command that you got to run. Okay, this is a pretty simple script. This is the echo command. If you want to write a comment, you have to write comment here. We will write even complex commands little later on. So first thing, this hello command, whatever hello script that we wrote, it may not have the access. What I'll do, I'll move this from hello to a directory called workspace. I have hello, and then I'll move from here to personal. I will move this hello to personal. This shouldn't be given. This assumes that it's a root directory. Personal training. Go. Okay, and then yeah, hello is there inside personal training. Let me go and then go to personal training and then mkdir DevOps training, and then I move hello to DevOps training. Now this is where the hello is. Cool. This is the path of the hello. You know that there is an absolute path and then there is a relative path. If you look at the relative path, this is the here. If you look at the absolute path, this is the absolute path of this hello. So right now hello is inside a directory called workspace, personal training, DevOps training. Here I put the file. If I want to run hello, will it run or not? Definitely it would not run. It's a shell script. Hello is nothing but a shell script. It would not run. The permission has denied. So how can I give the permission to this particular hello file as an execute permission? Chmod. The user should have read, that means 4, write, that means 2, and
Right, and
execute, that means 1. Okay. Otherwise you can also give u plus x, user plus x. This also you can give. Either you can give 7, okay, u plus x hello. Already we are giving to the same user, so you don't need to give any sudo command. Okay. Now you see that this has got, it's not a directory. This has got execute permission as well. The group has read and write, and the user has only read permission. So we give x. You can also give like this, u plus x. Otherwise you can also give user mod 7 for read, write, and execute, and then read and write 6, and then only the read 4. You, according to this I'm telling. So this is 4, sorry, 6, 4 and 1, 7. This is 6 plus, sorry, 6 plus, sorry, 4 plus 2, sorry, 4, 2 and 1, which is called 7. This is 4 plus 2, which is called 6, and the last one is only read. I think it is 4, so it's 7, 8, 6. Both of them are same. You see that nothing has been changed. You can also give like this, user plus execute. You are adding the another permission to the user. Fine. So this is what the hello is. Hello DevOps folks is what actually, this is a very pretty simple script. This is what it has said. Okay. There's no such file or directory. I don't know. Let me bin bash, don't execute this. Did I give anything wrong? I think I have to give the space or no space. I gave correct. I think, yeah, that's what I did. The wrong is I should give this, and then next that one. Okay, this is how I have to give. Okay, hello DevOps folks. This is a very simple script. Okay, this is what I have done. Cool. Now we go to the environment variables where we are discussing about. Environment variables is what actually it is. If I want to run this particular command, if I want to run the particular command called hello, okay, I go to I go to the home directory. If I want to run hello, because the hello path is here, if I want to run hello, I can run hello only from this particular path. I cannot go and run hello from any path. Okay, if I want to run hello, I have to run hello only from this particular path because hello is in this path. Hello is in this path. Hello is in this path. This is a relative path. If I want to go for absolute path, home, Jiten, workspace, personal, training, I have to run in this path. I have to go to all the way I have to go to this path and execute the file hello if I want to run. Okay, this means you are in the local path and then you would like to execute, but if you want to run hello, you have to run all the way to this particular path. Let's say you are writing Java, let us say Java C. I don't know, something went wrong with my system. Java version, everything got actually some problem is there. I will set it up, not a problem. So if you want to go to Java or Java C or .NET, okay, you see that .NET, you type .NET, you got everything about .NET. You know, it's a .NET uh, what do you say, .NET Core. When you type .NET, you got .NET. You know, .NET help. You know, you got .NET. But .NET is also a command. .NET is also a command. But .NET is not in this particular path. How do you get .NET over here? .NET is not in the path. Okay, how do you get .NET here? All these things can execute due to path. There are certain things. Number one is move your application to the path which is already set up. That means when you go to environment variable, you see that there is environment variable called path. Environment variables are nothing but key values. Okay, you can also create your own environment variable. Export, for example, name equal to Jitin is an environment variable. Okay, there may be something called name as Jitin might be there. You see that name is Jitin. Environment variable is called env. When you type env, you find something called environment variables. Okay, you can set up environment variable by using a command called export. In Windows, I think set is the command we use as far as I remember. Also export. But the thing is that you can create a path. Path is nothing but the path where I just put echo and I would like to put a $path because the output of the path environment variable is given here. This dollar is very important. This environment variable path. Okay, this is the environment variable called path. There are two ways we can do that. Number one is either you can copy the application to this particular path, any one of the paths. Generally, this is the path where most of the applications are there. Either you can copy your application to the path which is already has been set up. That is number one. That means the hello program, what I do, where is my hello program? I make a copy of hello. For example, I'm just making a copy of hello. Workspace, personal training, DevOps training. There is something called hello, right? This hello, I will make a copy, another copy called demo hello. I, I, I make a copy of hello to demo hello. Sorry, move. I'm purposely writing these commands so that you can understand. Let me go to the directory. Workspace, personal training, DevOps. Here, oh, I didn't copy, it didn't copy. I think, yeah, it copied to the local directory, sorry. Because I didn't tell the path over here, so it has copied to the local directory. So move demo hello to demo hello. I have copied over here. Demo hello, this is what copied, and then this is not working. Now, as I said earlier, there are two options we have. One, copy the file to the already set up directory in the environment variable. There is an environment variable called path. So the application, the Linux environment is well aware of what is the path is. What I do is I will move this demo hello file to user local bin. I will move this file to user local bin. I don't have permissions, so what I need to do, sudo user local bin is the file. You see that even this path I am able to run. Okay, any path. Any path. Right now I am in this path. Okay. I can run here. Demo hello is available. Demo hello is available. Maybe I am in home. Anywhere from your application you can run this particular command, demo hello. The reason is this demo hello has been copied to this path. User local bin. This is the path where already which is set up. That means any program you can go to path. This is the general path. Any program you can copy to this particular path. That program is available to be called from anywhere. Okay, there is no demo hello here. Because it is already, I moved the demo hello to a path called I moved to this particular path, demo hello. That is part number one. That is the reason I made another copy of demo hello. The second thing is you can set it up the path. How can you set up the path? You can set up the path. How can you set up the path? Option number one we have already seen. We moved a file to this particular directory. That means from anywhere you can execute. Okay, for example, you say Java. You don't go to Java exactly where Java is installed and run the command called Java. You run Java from anywhere. You go and run Java from anywhere. You go and run from .NET anywhere. It's not like you go to the path and execute. You say dot from anywhere. How it is possible? Because for simple example, echo is a command. Where is the echo command? Echo is also an application. Where is the echo application? You are running from here. Is it here? No, it is not here. It is inside a path which is already been set up. Echo might be there. You can write a command something called which echo. That means it tell where it is. Echo is inside user bin. Okay. There are two things. One is called user bin, that means entire system. The other one is called user local bin, that is for the local user. That is for the normal user. This is the root. User bin, you see that. User USR bin. So if you look at the path, you see that user bin. Because user bin is the path of user bin has been set up, the entire Linux commands are copied to a directory called user bin. You see that all the commands, what are the commands in Linux we are running, which are inside a file called user bin, so that you can call these commands from anywhere. Okay, you can also copy to user bin. I just copied to user local bin because this is generally system level path. This is called the user bin. You got it. This is called the user bin. That's the reason all the echo commands, if you go grep is a filter. I want to see something that starts with ec, then you see echo, and there is another command called less echo. I don't know what less echo is. There is also something called less echo. I don't know. Fine. There is echo command over here. That is the reason we are able to call this echo command. So which and command, for example, which demo hello, it tells that where is the path of this that is set up, which is the command. Okay, now we know what is the path is. We know how to, what is the second way to set up the path? Rather we move the executable to the path, we add a new path of that particular executable. That is the second way. What is the path of hello? If you could look at our hello, we know that the hello is in the path called workspace, personal training, DevOps training. Here the path is hello. Demo hello is the copy we already copied. Now we can also add this to the path. We can also add this to the path. This is the path. I'll go and then add it. What you can do, export. Already there is something called path. Don't give spaces. Spaces are very dangerous. This is the path. You don't need to give double quotations. Okay, you can remove them as well. This is the path. The reason we give double quotations is if at all anything like spaces and all are there, and then add this. This is the directory. Add this to the existing path. Don't go and then change this path. Add this to the existing path. You see that this has been added to the path. This has been added to the path. Okay. I tell you this one as well. This has been added to the path. You see, I called hello, then I am able to run the hello. Hello is not here. Hello is not here. Hello is in the path called workspace. workspace, uh, personal trainings, DevOps. Here it is, but still I am able to call that hello from this path. So two options. Number one, move the executable to user local bin. This is generally most of the softwares do that instead of keep on adding the new path, or add. But here there is a caveat. Whatever the path you have added here, it is only for this particular session. That means this is a terminal, there is a session. You type hello, there is a session. Let's say I go to another terminal. You don't find this. This is only for this particular session. Let's say I close this session. I close this as well, and then I go and open. I type hello, you don't find it, but I type demo hello, I find it because it is already that. So when I type hello, you don't find it because this is how we copy to that particular path. This I can't call it because I type export path. You can give either way. It's not added to the path. I'm sorry for that. There may be something. I gave wrong name. I give wrong name here. Training spelling. Yeah, you added to the path. This is only for this particular terminal session. This is not a permanent. Many ways you may go and see that in the they give examples like this, but this is only temporary. There is something wrong over here. Fine, this has been added to the path. Earlier it was added to the front, towards the front. Now I have added to the tail. I don't want to add to prepend it, so just this I added. uh, this one I add like this. Earlier I have added like this. This is how you can add in Linux. This is what we are exactly adding, appending a string actually. This is appending a string with the existing thing. Okay, fine. Now, how can I add it to the permanently? How can I add permanently? There are two ways we can add it permanently. Number one is system level, adding it at a system level. Number two is adding it to a local user level. You can go to something called etc environment. This is the system level environment variables. This is the actual path. This is the actual path. etc environment. Okay, cat means it's going to print anything. For example, cat. You cannot. You have to give the path. Cat. We already know cat command, workspace, personal training, DevOps training. Hello. This is going to print what is there inside that particular file. Cat command. Okay. However, etc environment. this is the actual path environment variable of the path environment variable at a system level. System level means the whole system. User level means at a user. This is where it is used. Generally, people don't go and write path over here. You don't see many people go and add path here. Okay. If you want to add path, you can go and also add path, but you need to have sudo permissions. What I do is I go and then I change it to, what do you say, sudo su. I change it to root user. Okay, now I go to etc and then I open environment file. I can go and then add the path over here in this particular path. After that, you want these changes to be applicable. You have to call something called source, name of the file name. It is not still applicable. No such file or directory. Something went wrong over here. Somewhere it is user local bin. Okay, user bin. Somewhere this path might be wrong. Home, sorry, home. After that, I have to give Jitin. After home, I have to give Jitin. Source means all the changes will be applicable. Okay, now this is so, but this is system level. Better not to give with this particular system level. Okay, it's a system level which is in environment. You are directly going and changing the environment variable of path at a system level. Okay, which is not recommended. But for you to know, I am telling you. I'm going to delete here. You know, still, even though it is saved, it is still there in the session, so it is running. Now it will not work because when I say source, it got updated. Now it will not work. That is some importance of source command. Right. And there is also something called profile file. There also you can write at a system level. You can go to etc. There is something called vim profile file. This is also profile file. Okay, where all the bash profiles are stored here, because when the system is loaded, it pulls all the it adds all the files. So it's telling that it's a read-only file, but you are trying to update. So what I do, oh sorry, I open with the sudo command profile sudo vim profile. I open this command. I pride, then it moved to insert command. Here also I can write to this particular directory export path equal to home Jitain workspace personal training DevOps training colon to the actual path. Double Q means you got to save the file. Then you have to source it. Source profile, because already you are in etc directory, then this is profile. Okay. Source profile. I go to my home directory. You got hello. I close this. I close this terminal. I again open the terminal. It is not showing in the profile, sorry for that. env path home Jiten. Yeah, that is not updated in the path profile. Let me check that. I think profile gets updated. Vim etc profile export path equal to home Jiten workspace personal training DevOps training to the path. So it got added to the path. Yeah, it has to be, system has to be restarted in order to take the new path. Okay, if the system is not restarted, it would not work. Otherwise you have to call the source command, because this is a system level path. However, yeah, I just put bash, then the shell moved to bash, and then I can get all the colors like this. Fine. So that is another way. I'm going to delete that from the path because I don't want to do it at a system level, which is not correct. You can also do it at a system level. Okay, what I do is I got to delete this. Okay, I deleted that. Even then, now it works. The reason is it's still thinking that the old profile, right? So where is the correct place? What is the correct place that you can do? Okay, if you want to set up etc profile or the environment, you have to reboot your system, then only it will start executing. Otherwise you have to say source, but every terminal you have to say source and all. The actual place where generally we set up all the paths are, there are three files. Number one is .bash rc. This is one file which is in your home directory. That means ls a, you can see something called file called bash rc. If you don't find, you can also go and create the file. Nothing is going to change. There is something bash rc, and there is also a file called, number one is bash rc, number two is bash profile. There is a file called bash profile. Okay, these two files you can go and then set up the environment, or you can also do it in the dot profile file. These three places are at a user level. Remember that there are two levels. One is called at a user level, other one is called at a system level. If it is a system level, if you want to set up the environment at a system level, either you can go to etc environment, or you can go to etc file, or you can, I think, go to some other places are there, I don't remember. At a user level, because why I said these user level, these files reside inside the user, in the user home directory. This file bash rc, bash rc, because we are using the bash, so the bash rc, it will go and then access the bash rc. If you're using MacBooks and all, then the shell is called zsh. Okay, you cannot go and write in the bash rc, I think you have to write it in the zshrc file. The rc file is very important if you are in MacBooks, because nowadays Mac is not using bash shell, it is using zsh, some shell. Sh means shell. Right now we are using bash script, a bash shell. The shell means the terminal, so it's called in the bash rc. If you don't find this file, you can go and then create the file as well. You can go create touch bash rc, it's going to create a new file, and then you can go and then inside the bash rc I can go vim dot bash rc. You see that lot of paths are put, all these paths I only put. This is the path for Golang, this is the path for Plumi, this is the path I have set up for .NET. Like this I have set up a lot of paths. You can go and then click on and set up the path for this as well. Go to that end, write export command, path equal to, add the path, whether you would like to append it to the existing path, like this, colon, always give the absolute path, don't give the relative path. You can as well, but there is the bash is running. Workspace, this is the path. Where is your executable? Add it over here. Run it. You need to know Vim. Explain Vim related in a short 15 minutes, where you can go little different way of nano with nano. Okay, there is also very famous, also used as code edit. Cool. I added a new entry to the bash rc, new entry. New rc, but it has not activated. Get it activated, file called so bash, then you can get it anywhere, whether it is a help, it is executable or binary. Once the path is set, it can be called from anywhere. This is how actually set up, not only in bash, set it up in dot. You see that my Java, you can also write it in one way. Some create a new environment and then add a variable to that. Okay, I'll tell you that. I go remove this entry. profile. The file is not there, you can, I can create a new what I do, environment variable. This is the variable. Don't give dangerous environment variable. Sorry, I have score. Usually in what I do is environment variable Jiten hello colon dollar environment variable. This is a new. I'm adding the path. It would not be. I have to source it. Dot profile. Something went. There is some file. This is the environment. I'm sorry. Path equal to this. Yeah, profile. You can write it in dot bash r dot bash profile. There are bash so that your any path. I go to. I can call hello my root. Call hello home. I can call hello any this particular thing. Environment. So setting path thing. In fact, in Windows, we are used to by going to system and type in the there and then add. But this is the very important thing next, because as a developer you use terminals a lot. Things should be script be done through terminals. You know, never used even in anything called tables. I'm not use terminal even actually. Uh, like in the thing. So this is what the write some, try to execute them uh, uh, to set up certain things. Okay.